Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am getting ready to start on 22, painting the body. It says to paint the body inside, but I am going to do all of the outside painting. So that way, after I clear coat it, I can mask it off and paint the inside and not have to worry about any overspray and things like that. So what I've done is I've gone through my directions and I've marked anywhere that needs to be the yellow color, which, you know, your rear valance, your side skirts, your front valance, some parts of the door handles, the rear spoiler, and anything that has to be yellow. And I've already cut them out and I've cleaned them up, getting them ready for primer first, which I'll go over that when I actual paint. But as I was cutting some of these out, I wanted to point out something to you, that there are call outs for drilling a 1 millimeter hole here. So you got another drill here on the front bumper area. I know you have one on the roof as well. It's right here. It tells you and shows you where to do it there as well. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're just going to get our drill out, which I've already grabbed the 1 millimeter bit for it. So I'm going to do as it says, just kind of follow along and try not to mess anything else, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to, before I paint, I'm going to glue all the body pieces on that need to be, as far as, you know, for painting purposes. So that's all one unit when we're painting. So I'm going to get all of those on. So I need to drill all the holes, glue all the parts on, but we'll show you that as we go. So the first drilling we need is in the body. It says these two holes right here, which Tamiya gives you where they're supposed to be. And then I'll come back through and sand those down, because now it's a big rough texture. Again, it's another reason why I like to do it now. All right. So now we'll go to the next area that we need drilling. So we're just going to scan the instruction sheet. Usually I go through and mark these out so that way I don't miss any. All right, turn the roof over. And it gives you two little marks as well. Make sure that hole's through. All right. So that part's done. All right, so that takes care of all of our drilling. Now we're just going to go wherever we sanded and just kind of knock that stuff down. Just like that, it's down. Not too worried about the inside of that hole, or the inside of the body. Just out here where it's going to be seen. And actually, it's not even going to be seen that much because it's actually under a spoiler. It's under this spoiler, which we're going to have to glue down before we paint. That'll go there. That is done. Our lovely roof that's going to be gloss black. I'm just letting the sanding paper do the work. I'm not really pressing hard at all. Trying to knock that down and then come back in with a finer. There we go. Looks like crap right now, but that'll all be primered and painted. All right, so that was easy. The drilling part is done, so I am going to investigate, because it shows that we're able to glue the front on before we put the chassis. It shows that we're able to glue the back on before we add the chassis. So we could glue all of these on, paint it as one body unit. But at any rate, that's what I was looking for. All these body parts that need to be painted at the same time can be glued on. So we are going to start with, we're actually going to start with these right here. So we're going to take, this is B38, and it's just going to attach right in those holes right there. So we're just going to add some glue here, down in that slot. We're going to add some glue to this bracket. And we're going to avoid touching any glue areas. Make sure those all sit nice down in there. All right. Now we're going to take part number B39 on the other side and do the same thing. I'm really being cautious because I don't want any glue anywhere where it's not supposed to be, or too much glue somewhere where it's going to squeeze up, and then I'm going to have to sand and do more work. There we go, there we go, there we go. Just come back in here, underside, touch right where it joins, just to reinforce that a little bit more. There we go. I'll do that on the other side as well. Okay. So those are on. All right. It calls for A17 and A8, which I still don't know what those are. It has something to do with holding the chassis down, and it doesn't call for a paint call out. So we're going to cut those out real quick and get those glued in. So A18 goes on this side. Try not to grab the piece that we just glued. Make sure that's in there nice and tight. Do the other side. And then I just noticed there's 2 notches there. I don't know if they're supposed to be in there or not. Nope. That's where the body was attached to the sprue. All right. So that is ready. All right, so those 2 parts are in. So now we can do the rear valance or rear bumper. So we're going to glue that in, but we're not going to attach D8, which is gloss black. We'll attach that later. Find where its contact points are. All right, everybody. It is time to try to shoot this body and get it ready for, well, if I can find my airbrush that I just had. There it is. All right, since I'm using a yellow body for this, I'm using Mr. Finishing Surfacer Pink, which I just picked up from Mark over at HobbyNut Models. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay down the base coat of primer and see where I am and what I need to sand. All right, this I'm definitely going to turn my thing on. So just going to do small mist coats. Not to worry too much about up here because that's going to be covered by the roof panel. I've thinned it 50-50 with Mr. Color leveling thinner. This beautiful stuff. Try to get in my wheel wells. Alright, we're going to let that dry and see where we stand. Alright, we are back. For some reason, I did not record our first coat of yellow. So we have the first coat down. It's kind of just a mist coat over our pink primer. So I am going to shoot the second coat as we begin to build the color. Hopefully getting to where we want it before we put the pearl. So she's looking really good. She's smooth. So pretty excited so far. So let's shoot the next one. We're going to let that dry off for about 10-15 minutes. And we'll come back and put a third coat on. She's really starting to get the yellow down. Not too worried about the top because that's going to be covered by a solid gloss black piece that we'll paint after this. But liking it so far. All right, let's put another coat of yellow on this. Really happy with the color. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, it is time to add the pearl coat. So I have, the paints that I've used for this are splash paints, and I will show them in the video when we get it back to the bench, but this is a pearl coat that goes over the top of the yellow. So here we go. Maybe a little hard to see right now, but we're gonna let it dry and see if we need another coat or not. All right, guys, I am ready to add a clear coat to this Nissan Z. All right, I'm gonna pour my clear through this strainer and just let it go and cycle through. All right, be right back. All right, we are about to put our first tack coat of 2K clear on this car and see what we got. All right, time to do the next coat. I let that sit for 10 minutes, and now I'm going to have anything on there. I'm going to try to give us a little bit, not a full heavy coat, but more than a mist coat now. come back for our full-on heavy coat in 10 minutes. All right, everybody, we are... Where were we when we last left off? I think we were getting ready to add some paint to this lovely body. So we glued everything, and I showed you how I put the layers of clear down and the layers of paint. And so, without further ado, we have a Nissan Z that really came out well. I haven't polished it or anything, or it's got a nice little pearl flake in there. So really, really happy with it. So that will sit on my chassis. We still got a lot of work to do in literally 2 weeks. But while I was at it, I skipped ahead. I know, doesn't help you guys out, but I skipped ahead because I figured I was doing the clear coat anyway. So I skipped ahead to step 26, and I glued D14 on the roof, which is a little antenna. I assume it's a little antenna pod, but attached that to D1, which is the black roof that goes on top of everything. I haven't finished 26 because I still have to do these silver rails that go up along the side after you mount that down. But I wanted to get it painted and clear coated. So that is this part. So it came out extremely well and extremely glossy, which I love. So that's just gonna sit down on top of this roof after the window's all in and everything. And I just really happy with the way it's coming out so far. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to just leave this alone. It's already been sitting for literally a day and a half, so I'm going to let it cure for probably another day before I really start handling it and manipulating and building more onto it. So, but we've got other steps to work on leading up to this. So we're going to set this out of the way and get it all protected because I don't want to mess anything else up. But because I have to go back and I have to do the inside of the roof line, the liner and all that. So I have to go in there and clean all this up. It's got a little bit of debris, it just wipes away. But I've got to clean all that up, mask everything away so that way I don't get anything on the body, and shoot. It's calling for XF24, which is a dark gray. So we're going to do that. Dark gray, and we've got some decals for the lights, and everything else is pretty much semi-gloss black. So dark gray, and then semi-gloss black back here and up there. So that'll finish out that step, but I'm really not wanting to worry about that. So we're probably going to bypass a lot of these steps that have to do with the body until probably Tuesday. But what we can do now is we can get the windows painted, the back window, the side windows. We're going to do step 24, and we're still not going to attach. We'll probably do the painting down here of step 25, since it's just painting the gloss black sections that go right here. And then those get glued to the body, but I'm just not ready to mess with any of that until this body cures more. So, but we can do a lot of prepping work, and I'll call it out as I do it, but these need to be painted LP11. So I'll probably start a video where I'm just building a lot of these assembly pieces that go onto the body. Like these have already been painted and glued on the body, but we have to paint these semi-gloss black, glue them to the bottom. Our review mirror we can do. This back fascia here has to be gloss black. So, and then we got to do a lot with the lights. So, not to confuse you, but we're just going to start with the windows and keep going on the rest of the body. So, this video is a wrap as far as painting the body. So I don't know what we call this video. I guess I'll just call it painting the body, but we're not doing the inside yet. So I'm going to wrap this video up. And so thank you guys for watching. And the next video is going to be kind of all over the place. So hopefully I can make it clear enough and I don't lose you. So I'll see you next time. And as always, thanks so much for watching and subscribing to my channel. Appreciate you guys.